before this best of 7 bout begins, let's talk about what these teams might bring into their lineups. M4 has had the metagame evolve one way, make a swerve, and then go one direction. And here we're going to try to break it down between Blacklist International and Echo. We have Lafel, Wolf, Leo, and Mirko to do just that. Wolf, you've been watching these teams since forever. What can we expect going into this best of 7?
I guess you would expect Obe, right? That is, from Blacklist International, we saw that from Echo themselves when they battled in the upper bracket finals. Now, then again, we saw that Echo, it kind of felt like they're not that masterful yet with that composition. They look really good, though. I'm not saying that they look bad back then, but it's just like, when it comes to experience, Blacklist knows that. So, what I expect from Echo this time is a different shade of purple coming out from them when they're going up against Blacklist in the finals.
Okay, whoa. You said that Blacklist International have a lot of experience, and Echo, the thing that I've learned for newer teams is that they learn faster. Sure, the more veteran teams, they learn more efficient, but in the best of 7, I kind of feel like for the newer players, whatever mistakes they do, it was stuck with them for the entire best of 7 series. So in this series, I kind of feel like I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about learning, Echo might have the edge. They might learn a little bit faster.
Well, in terms of drafts, honestly, it does feel like Blacklist International have had the more solid drafts around or across M4. Meanwhile, Echo, I think me and you, Leo, we had a lot of discussions about this where the drafts from Echo seemed kind of shaky sometimes, right? We saw the Eastern Shin, we saw even yesterday picking up a Cho, and then the Hilda later on swapping Yaoi into that Hilda. But first, I think we're going to take a look at the statistics first.
If anything is to be said about Blacks International, they are so consistent. And one of the most consistent players I've ever seen in the entire history of Pro Mlbb play is Haji, as Lafel would call
the Kada machine. And the thing is, it's nice when Blacklist International, they're in a pinch. They look at Haji, they look at Edward. Everyone performed well, but for these two players, they're gonna have more on their shoulders. And looking at the win rate as well, Eve, like, okay, Farsa, he played more, it's a lot of bursts, but if Eve is given to Haji, this 100% win rate might stay.
Yeah,
worthy of the trade, right?
Definitely. I think that we'll be seeking from Blacklist International, both Farsa as well as the Eve, and the way that they are controlling the map because of it ended the team fights. Haji just plays the Eve as well as the Farsa so differently from other teams. Maybe the only similar playstyle was from when Rosa plays it, the aggressive kind of Nook mages. We are going to experience once again how great Haji is, this kind of heroes. One of my personal MVPs of the past championship of Blacklist International is definitely Haji, and I think that his improvement from the previous season was still very consistent.
Yep, he's your favorite player.
He is my favorite player on Blacklist, right? I mean, the way he plays these mages, these are safe mages. These aren't mages that are supposed to be in front, right? I think back at M3, I was very surprised of Hatred's performance, right? On Onyx PH, the way he was able to just play in the middle of the team fight. But for Haji, sometimes he's the frontliner. He's the frontliner. He builds Winter Truncheon early. I think in terms of itemization, positioning as well, this is your guy, right? And I'm not just talking about positioning, playing in the back line. No, playing in the front line, but understanding the spacing of the hero so well to a point where he can be the front line, but he's always still safe.
And that just shows how important the box is in the current metagame of M4. And that's supported by Oh My Venus, who a lot would agree with me when I say is the heart and soul of the Ube.
Okay, the thing about Oh My Venus is a different kind of power in Blacklist International because Oh My Venus is moving the chess pieces and using a healer like an Estes, you can dictate how we want to fight back because the way that Blacklist International is playing, if you want to engage, if you want to fight, you're going to be the one that starts something. We're going to retaliate, and that's why it's great with having Oh My Venus in Blacklist because he knows when to re-engage.
A fun fact, do you know how ube is actually made? Like the actual ube, the food? Like purple yam. Yeah. It's a root crop, right? You boil it, high temperature for a long time, you mash it. Like there's a lot of pressure in it. And that's exactly how Oh My Venus, as well as Blacklist International, have developed this strategy. Over time, so much pressure, so much refinement. Eventually, you get a wonderful recipe, wonderful dish that you can see in the world stage back to back.
And that's what tells the story of the ube. Again, you can throw in the best amount of bursts. You can throw in the best in the world trying to cut into your back lines. They'll even to the front lines via Carl Tizzi's Fredrin, his Akai, his Grok. I can't believe we're here, 2023, M4. These are the picks for this guy? These are the picks for the FMVP of M2?
It's insane, right? How much he's matured, how much he's learned and progressed through the years here. Coming again into the grand finals of his second grand finals in a world championship. It's not like he can't play the assassins anymore. He can still play those assassins. He can still threaten the backline with the Fanny, the Ling, and I'm still waiting for it, but the Lancelot, right? I mean, it's still possible, but honestly, look at this tournament, the meta as well. It just really favors these fighters in the jungle. Not just the fighters, but also just the tanks. The utility provides so much for the team, enables the mid lane and the gold lane to do what Echo's been doing. Sanford as well, XP mid gold. And even to a point, it's Yaoi too. These are all carries. That's why Echo are so dangerous. They can carry through every single role.
I guess we know who he's voting for. Okay, so right now we're looking at Benny Cutie as well, where he has, if I'm not mistaken, still the highest KDA. And very weird thing, Benny Cutie, it looks like the entire map is open to him, because even if Yaoi catches someone, sometimes he doesn't engage. He's waiting for the rest of the enemy team to show their face, then he re-engage. So he's playing a very different way than every other goal later, where usually when the food is in front of his face, he'll eat it. No, Benny Cutie, he assesses first and makes the judgment call a little bit later.
Which is the entire essence of this hero, his power hero carry, because the kit just solves everything that Benny Cutie wants, right? If he wants to split push, he can go ahead and click that ult. If he wants to space the opponents out, throws out the pinwheel. If he needs to locate himself, he's got the dash.
And what I can say about Benny Cutie is that if you have a trophy for a gold standard, a gold lane standard, he now holds it for sure. He knows how to position well. He knows how to time his ultimates. He knows when to fight whenever his power spike is not yet there. So I think he is the holder of the gold standard today.
Yep, everybody watch out for Bagyong Benny. For now, let's go ahead and throw it back to our lovely hosts. I'm pretty sure they'll have something very interesting for y'all before the match begins.
In the players holding area, and let's take a look at them now. They're interacting with each other. We're gonna pull one of them, JP. Hi JP, pwede kang kausapin, can talk to you. So what's going on right now? What are you guys doing?
Lang, mga pampakalma lang para before laban.
So they're just trying to calm themselves, playing with each other. Who's the most nervous out of everybody?
So ngayon siguro puro excited lang nararamdaman kasi sanay na sa stage.
So they've gotten used to the stage. It's all excitement that they're feeling. Who could not sleep last night?
Minsan sando kasi ayaw nga nila magtabi sa kama kaya ayaw magtabi kaya hindi makatulog eh.
The San duo could not sleep last night. That's Sanford and Sanji. They couldn't sleep beside each other. They couldn't sleep beside each other, so they couldn't sleep properly without being with each other. So they're like twins, inseparable. So out of everybody, you have the most experience in the world stage. And Carl Tizzi, you've been to the M series before. The four of them, first timers. What's something, an advice that you gave them to make sure that the nerves don't get in the head and they can perform their best today?
Sinasabi ko lagi na parang kaya naman nila yung kalaban just lang. Tas,
They just need to be confident and they can do their thing. All right, I know that you got some stuff to do, so good luck. You got this. Echo loud.
Echo proud.
Talk to Blacklist International. We're gonna put somebody here that's available. Oheb, come over here. Okay. Oh, don't trip. We still have a game. What's the first thing you ate today?
Corned beef.
Are you nervous? Yes or no?
No.
And who do you think is gonna be the finals MVP?
Me.
Who's the best Matrix user?
Me.
Wow, confident. Okay, I want to know, how's the feeling this time around compared to M3?
I think it's the same.
The same. And what is the same feeling? What is that feeling?
Excited to get and win.
If you were keeping an eye out on one specific player from the other side, who is that?
Yawi.
Why?
Because their gameplay revolves on Yawi.
What's your message to Yawi?
Good luck. May the best team win.
May the best team win. Let's get it on.
Again, and the teams are preparing for their battle. Best of 7 for the grand final. But how about the opinion from the talents? But before we heard from them, let me invite our queen, Mara. Hi, hello, Mara. Do you want to hear from our talents here?
I had to run all the way.
Yes.
The players' room.
Oh.
Now, you know, this is going to be a really exciting match. So we got our talents. We got a little bit of a debate going on right here. So on our right, who do we have?
Blacklist!
Wow.
Okay, Assassin Dave.
Yeah, Blacklist for the win!
Okay, for Blacklist, representing Blacklist International, there's Jay's Assassin Dave, Fester, KB, and
I think
Okay.
Wolf is on the wrong side.
Oh, really?
We need to push Wolf on the other side. This curse is too strong.
Oh, the curse, the curse. The wolf curse. Okay, right over here. For the side of Echo, there's Gideon, Mirko, LaFell, and Leo. Wow.
Echo loud!
Echo Brown!
All right, okay, we gotta settle this right now, Clara. We gotta know why Blacklist deserves to win and why Echo deserves to win. Let's do,
Jay.
Clara,
Yes.
you know, let's do rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins, that side goes first.
Okay, 1, 2.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh.
Okay, I won.
Echo
Echo
first.
will go first. All right, here we go now. Here we go, Orcus. What you got?
Boys, this is a simple one. Echo is by far one of the greatest. And how do we know they've got the youngest players? They have an M2 World Championship jungler to lead them.
Wait, that's not what Orca say, right?
What noise does the Orcus made? What do they make?
Is that what
Orca sound?
Is that how? No, Orca's like.
Oh,
Probably,
and
I don't know.
they
didn't do
bloop,
the
bloop,
research.
and they go. All right, James, what you gotta say?
To be honest, you have one MVP. We have the whole team that won M3, and they're gonna do it again. No,
Hell
because
yeah.
we have the best duo in the world, right, guys?
Oh yeah!
We got a free-wise on the Blacklist International, right?
That's right.
Best duo on the world.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Mirko,
strong statement.
we got the best duo. What you got?
Hey man, you got a duo. You got Oheb, sure. You can carry, usually through Oheb, Haji, but we can carry through Sanji, Sanford, Yawi, Benny, and guess what? Carl Teasy, best in the world.
Wow, 5 of them.
Okay.
Yo, we have super AI, okay?
Assassin Dave.
Blacklist is all about the playstyle. It's all about the discipline. It's all about everything that Echo does not have. All right?
Discipline. Wow.
Okay, Assassin
Lafayette
Dave's
want to say
kinda
something.
Blacklist has average
fighting. Come on. We got Wise, we got Ohab, we got Haji, the KDA machine, right?
Yes.
We got a number. Oh, maybe
they got the
because
numbers.
the Blacklist is number 1.
Oh, they got the numbers. Number one, LaFell. LaFell, what you gotta say to that?
Okay. Not gonna lie, I'm here because I'm upset.
Oh, why are you upset?
Oh,
Why?
Blacklist.
What?
Because I wanted to buy their jacket and it's sold out.
That's why you went there.
I got the last jacket. I got the last one.
Loyalty can be bought. So if like you guys could hook us up, then we could trade places.
Hey,
Is that right?
Hey,
That's right. That's right. That's
Hey,
right.
Rafael.
Loyalty
Hey,
can be
Rafael.
bought.
What a reason.
Hey, LaFell, how about a jacket and a jersey and track pants and some shorts, some merch from Blacklist? Will it come over here?
Oh yeah.
Let's do
we have a jacket for them?
Where's Alodia?
Are you moving?
Wait.
Are we giving him a jacket?
Whoa.
Have you seen their varsities, bro?
Uh-oh. Lovell?
LaFell?
You want to change
what's
your
going
heart?
on?
Okay. Since we're on the side of Echo, no. Echo loud, Echo proud.
Oh, we
got
thought we could buy him over. We thought him over.
Yeah, but we know, we don't have to buy him over though, because we know that Blacklist International, they're the trendsetters. They set the meta and everybody just follows. And if you're even looking at the past matches that we saw from Blacklist International and Echo and even other teams, like they're just really following Blacklist International. They haven't broken the code.
Okay. Leo, how we gonna break the code?
It's very simple, isn't it, Leo?
Wow, they're discussing right now.
Oh, discussion. Come on,
They're
come on.
discussing.
You guys just hold on. Okay, we need Leo to hype up a little bit. It's just gonna be short and sweet.
So that they can eventually become best in the world. Best in the world.
All right, Clara. We gotta settle this with a cheer battle. All right? Okay. Let's hear it from that side.
We're gonna start, ladies and gentlemen. I say Blacklist, you say break the code! Blacklist! Break the code! Blacklist! Break the code! Blacklist!
Wow, for Blacklist.
Okay, Jace, you gotta save that voice for later.
That's 7.
Let's hear it from the Orcas.
Come on, we can do better, boys. We can do better.
Okay. Echo loud, Echo proud. Everyone, ready? Echo loud! Echo proud! Echo loud! Echo proud! Echo loud! Echo proud!
There you go. That's amazing.
Okay, this debate is getting me really excited for what's coming up, Clara. But we also have exciting news for what's happening with Mobile Legends Bang Bang this 2023. Let's watch this.
2022 was a fruitful year for Mobile Legends Bang Bang Esports. Now, let's take a quick look at what more can you expect this year. After kickstarting the year with M4, we have the second Mlbb Women's Invitational, or MWI, 2023 in February. The MPL season and official tournaments will commence from February to May, including NACT and a new tournament in Turkey. Next, we have the SEA Games 2023 in Cambodia and MSC 2023 happening back-to-back. In July, we also have the first ever Snapdragon Pro Series MLBB Challenge organized by ESL, as well as the World Cyber Games, or WCG 2023. As the second half of the year starts, so does the second half of the MPL and official tournaments, leading up to MPL Invitational in November. Finally, we will end the year, of course, with M5 in the Philippines. 2023 is going to be a big year for the MLBB esports ecosystem. None of this would be possible without our amazing fans and incredible community. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
We break the news, and MSC will be in Cambodia, and M5 will be in Philippines, Mara.
Philippines!
That's amazing.
It's only fitting that the next World Championship will be held in the strongest land of all, with the strongest players. Philippines, Pinas lang, malakas. Now, before we proceed, we'd like to call on stage the president of the Philippine Olympic Committee, Mr. Abraham Bambol Tolentino.
Please join us. Hello.
Hi,
Hello, welcome.
thank you. Thank you very much, Jakarta. Thank you very much, Munton, for this 2022 M4 Mobile Legend Bang Bang Championship. We're so excited. Who will be the winner? Echo or Blacklist? But definitely, it will be from the Philippines. Thank you very much. And we're more excited that the next M5 will be in the Philippines. We'll be excited to give you the best hospitality of the Filipino. So see you guys, M5 in Philippines. Thank you very much, Jakarta. Thank you very much, Munton.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tolentino, the president of the Philippine Olympic Committee. This is going to be very exciting. And regardless what happens today, Philippines will come out as the winner. It's now time to find out who is the strongest amongst all the regions, the best team, the fiercest. Let us now start the Mobile Legends Bang Bang M4 World Championship. Dare to be great!
On the backside, and now it's going to be the Crystal Northstar. Echo takes the game against RRQ.
Clean from
The reigning champions. Relentless agents from the Philippines marched through the M4 World Championships with sheer dominance, taking down opposing foes one at a time, and claimed a spot in the grand finals.
Sanford, Sanji's gonna fight it as well. Haji takes him down, and Black International is the first Filipino team to confirm a grand finals spot. Right now, looking in the room, looking inside the scene.
Echo, a fierce challenger with a burning desire to claim victory and make history. The Orcas have swam their way through adversity and proved to be a worthy contender. Behind the leadership of Carl Teasy, the M2 Finals MVP, Echo is ready to stand loud and proud on the stage.
Sa mga kalaban namin bukas sa akin ko. Sobrang gusto ko manalo bukas para sa akin at para sa kakampi ko.
Gagawin po namin ang lahat para sa trophy na to dahil ito po yung matagal namin nangangal ng simula pa. At hindi na po kami titigil kasi one series away na lang po kami.
Are you ready for the grand finals of M4?
You're made of silver and gold. Look at your sky. You're the greatest ocean now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. You're the greatest ocean now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. With fire in our eyes, we will be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall.
Every year, warriors across the universe would gather, and they tried their best to reach the sky and ignite the stars. But ultimately, there can only be one victor each year. And one, the first ever world champions, EVOS Legends. And two, the meteoric rise of Red Esports. And M3, Blacklist International, which finally broke the code. And now, it's finally time to commence the grand finals of M4 World Championship. Now this is a wonder to behold.
You're made of silver and gold. Look at your sky. You're the greatest ocean now. You and I, we can make it out of the cold. Hang tight, we gonna reach for the greatness. We will always rise, we will never fall. Fire in our hearts, we will be strong. Even though we know our backs against the wall. Can you take your aim? You know that this is.
Dynasty, Legacy, Destiny. They dare to be the greatest, a showcase of Filipino excellence. Welcome to Mabuhay. At your service, my name is Leo, here with Mirko and Lafel, and we'll be bringing you the grand finals of the M4 World Championships. Gentlemen, it's an honor to share the desk with you tonight.
Man, feeling great as usual. I am honored to be here with you as well. Leo, Lafel, this is the grand finals. You know, coming up to this, leading up to this, there was a lot of doubts as to who would be here, but the Philippines are still here as the top region. Echo versus Blacklist.
Whatever happens today, I'm happy to be a part of history because either the defending champions will get back-to-back champions or the first ever defending champions will go down and have to let the new blood come in as the new champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight would not be possible without our sponsors. M4 is powered by Moonton, presented by TikTok, the official content partner, supported by Secret Lab, the official gaming share, and Esports Charts, our analytical partner. Gank, our official merchandise partner. MeWatch, our media partner, and last but not least, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia. The M4 Pass available now. Complete all active tasks and you will reach level 75 with ease and for free. Log in now and get exclusive rewards such as the Beatrix Light Chaser and Stellar Brilliant skins, and of course the M4 Beatrix skin. They're all waiting for you in the pass. Use the hashtags Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag Mlbb M4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great. And that's exactly what these two teams here came to do. They flew out from Manila. They flew out hot after their grand finals performance in MPL Philippines Season 10. And here we're seeing the rivalry of a century.
They didn't just dare to be great. They are great. They've proven in this tournament how much progress they've made throughout this tournament so far. We can see that again, Blacklist International and Echo, they have very distinctive styles that make the team work. So far, Echo Philippines have not been able to break the code, but here in the grand finals, it's a different stage. It's the world stage, and it's the highest level of MLBB in the world.
Best of 7 is set to test the best of the best. Because within the best of 3, it's very tiring. Best of 5, even more tiring. Best of 7, it doesn't just test your physical strength, it tests your mental strength, and it tests your strength as a team, the strength of the coaching staff. This is where your limits are tested.
And all in effort to take home the grandest prize of them all, the M4 World Championship Trophy. It's kind of revamped since we last saw it, since Blacklist International took home the M3 title. And here, from Echo, the House of Highlights, the Orcas, they're going ahead and sending a new blood into this competition, this rivalry. It's Sanji, a rookie from Season 10, making his way into the runner-up, into the grand finals of Season 10, and now on the world stage. Can you imagine what it must be like?
It's crazy, right? Both of these players, they have a very interesting style, because usually as a mage, you want to be in the back line, you want to provide damage, but you want to stay safe. These two, they don't know what safe is. Safe is everywhere, right? For them, it's in the front lines. Even in the middle of the team fight, they can create these spaces for them to deal them as much damage as possible, but also take none damage back.
Here's the thing. I would say they dare to be great because they have the skills to outplay. And that's the thing. It's not that no one chases after them. It's not necessarily their positioning is the safest in the world.
Everyone's after them.
They put themselves in danger. And they have faced danger. And within the face of danger, they use their spells. They use like the Winter Truncheons. They use the immortality to make sure that not only do they stay alive, they get the kills, they get the objectives.
In the highest level of MLBB, there's a very small margin in terms of skill for both of the teams. And these two teams risk everything to get that small advantage to be able to get the dub. And here we're going to see exactly what are the keys to victory, starting with Blacklist International.
Blacklist International, they got to continue to evolve the Ube, but I don't think that is like enough. They got to make sure that they got to help OHEB to snipe through the Benny Cutie Hurricane. And I feel like that is definitely one of their key to victories, where OHEB is going to be quite tested, because the Ube strat, we we've seen during the best of 5 can actually be crumbled. And in that kind of situation, Oheb, he's gonna be like the main target.
I like the dichotomy between their gold laners, Oheb and Benny Cutie. They're both amazing and the greatest at what they do, but they're also very different kinds of gold laners. Benny Cutie was born and bred to be a split pusher. And when it comes to team fights, he is so good at finding the right target. When it comes to Oheb, it seems like the Filipino sniper was just created and cultivated to be able to carry, but he needs the right setup. Echo, talk us through, Lafel, what exactly the Orcas need to do to take home their first World Championship.
I would say use your own strength at Yaoi, as well as the San duo. We could give them heroes that can outplay their laners. They can win the game for you.
Give them a winning lane, a good matchup, right? So that they can scale and actually create a snowball for themselves. Now, again, we need to talk about this duo. And no, not just the duo, just the entire Echo here. They're dynamic. I touched on this a little bit there. But they can actually carry from every single role. I'm talking literally every. Not just the gold lane, not even just the XP lane, but even in the roam position. Yaoi, he styles. You saw in the Keys to Victory that he needs to change. He needs to evolve from a playmaker to a kingmaker.
And they're about to do that here tonight in the faces of the kings and queens of the world from M3. Ladies and gentlemen, the stakes have never been higher. These two teams have practiced their minds off, as a good friend of ours would say, and the fruits of their labor are about to come through here tonight. I can only imagine what's going on through their minds because they're all going through their own struggles, right? Benny Cutie here has just been through the ups and downs in his years in the MPL. V and Wise have tried to shut down the haters, prove them wrong in their multiple grand finals appearances. And that all comes through here tonight. It all comes to a head. And we're about to do just that as game 1 begins. The drafting phase is upon us. Decisions are going to be made here, and we're only hoping for the best. We only want to see Echo and Blacklist pick up their most favorite heroes, their most powerful picks here. Lafel, what are we looking out for?
Okay, first things first, I'm looking out for the Fredrin, and the Fredrin has been banned because for both teams, Wise as well as Carl TZ are really good on this Fredrin pick. Now, look at Blacklist International. Let's pay attention to the bans because they ban out the Cho as well as the Kaja. Both are pick style heroes. Looking at Echo, they're making sure that Benny Cutie will have a better time in his goal lane. So with the 1-1 gone, with the carry gone, I would say Beatrix increases in value.
I think the Eve increases in value as well. With the Kaja banned away, with a lot of bans here, you would really think that the Eve would become the #1 in prio, but Blacklist, they opted to go for the Barats, leaving the Eve open, and the Lapu Lapu that we mentioned earlier. You give Sanford this pick, and he carries.
So here's the gamble that Coach Tick and Treb have picked up on. You leave open the Eve, we're gonna pick it up, put a hero that Sanford loves, and what's the answer? What's the swing back? Do they go Benedetta? Do they go Yujong? Do they go Farsa? Because that seems to be the answer. And interesting. They're going for the Oheb Harith priority. We've seen this from Echo before.
I like what you said, priority, because that's how you see where their mindset is at. Because we gotta talk about the Barat's first pick, because that has to be your priority, and your priority pick dictates how you're gonna move around the map. So in this game, they're putting a lot of weight onto Wise's shoulder to actually move the entire team forward. Now that they've seen the Lapu Lapu as well as the Eve, they understand that they want to set up a box. So we got to move around the box a lot. Haji, signature pick on the Farsa. And it's kind of like setting up. It's like, I don't care what kind of marksman you're going to pick. I'm going to be able to survive my lane and actually impact the game. And I would say the mid stages of the game.
Now, though, you can already see the respect being given over, right? Blacklist International, this is the draft that they went for. A lot of magic damage. Without the S's picked up in the early phase here for Blacklist International, Echo will take that away. Secondly, though, you can expect Edward to actually get counter or just targeted here. Maybe the Benedetta ban comes through because Blacklist still need a physical damage threat, but they still are going to try to nail down Venus's hero here. The Estes, now the Diggy.
Okay, so looking at Echo, they really want to make sure that when they dive, it is successful. Before that, we got a quote from Oh My Venus saying, we're kind of expecting that teams will ban the Estes, and we're actually prepared for it. I'm looking forward to see Estes in the banning section. And now, it has been banned. And what better place to show your maximum potential in the grand finals of the world stage?
With the Lolita being picked up here by Echo, they're leaving Benny Cutie in both a dangerous and also protected spot because again, they want to make sure that he isn't fully countered, but also you gotta wonder what else is out left there because the Beatrix is out, the Brody is out, they themselves panned out the carry and the 1-1. Are you seeing a carry here? Oh, rather a Matilda?
Yeah, I'm thinking
there it is.
I'm thinking Matilda and Blacklist International lock it up. The Benedetta 2 earlier on. They need a physical damage threat, and guess what? The Barats actually work super well with the Matilda, and that's the reason Echo banned out all these marksmen. They wanted to go for the Lunox, they wanted to go for some burst damage and some more magic damage, knowing that Sanford on the Lapu likes to go for just a lot of damage. Remember, yesterday we saw the Hunter Strike, the Bloodlust Axe. This is a very physical Lapu.
I would say, with the draft coming in from Blacklist International, this is a very good draft to start game number 1 because it is a very simple draft. This is what is going to give you confidence moving to game 2 onward. So honestly, I'm liking the draft coming in from Blacklist because you can make very little mistakes with this kind of draft, with this kind of gameplay.
Yep, signature picks for all of our defending champions. For Echo, I'd like to say the only thing that's missing for me is the split push potential from Benny Cutie. It's not as potent when you're on a hero like Lunox, but what it does have is amazing team fight engagement. A lot of damage when you hit your power spike. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Indoor Sinayan and all across the world, I hope you're ready. It's time for game 1 in this best of 7 between Blacklist International and Echo.
Looking at both drafts, I would assume that they're not going to fight a lot in the early stages of the game. They're going to fight around Riverside. They're going to fight for the control around the turtle because they want to make sure that they have the levels first. So if you see any kind of rotation, it's all about maximizing the minions to make sure you get as much level 4s on your heroes before going into the turtle phase.
With 2 utility junglers, this is what you can expect, right? A lot of emphasis around the mid control. Why? To control the neutral objectives like you mentioned earlier. Mid control plays such a huge impact in this game, and you can already see for both of the teams, Venus and Haji, Sanji and Yaoi, they're focusing a lot, putting a lot of resources down into that mid lane to create some more pressure, but still, it's Blacklist International who secure the Lethal Wanderer.
Okay, so now, looking at Blacklist as well as Echo, not a lot of action will come true. I'm thinking they gotta find a way for Echo to get Yaoi onto level 4 because that is a very big ultimate to have in the turtle fight. It's coming up in roughly 36 seconds. So Echo as well as Blacklist International, both teams we saw in the best of 5 before, they like to see what the opponent wants to do first. Blacklist is asking Echo, Echo is asking Blacklist. Now Yaoi, he might get engaged for a little bit.
He does have the flicker here, pops the flicker just to escape. Blacklist International with a resource advantage before the first turtle spawns in 15 seconds.
That's going to be Blacklist here, knowing that they can buy time, but up top, Benny
already caught low, flickered out of that. Blacklist International now with 2 advantages in terms of resource, and maybe even Oheb can rotate down below.
Oh, but there's 3 members from Echo here. Sanji still clearing the wave. Easy Dash is on now. Sanford setting it up. Turtle less than half health.
That's going to be the final blow by Edward. Easy can be stunned up, but has a heavy spin. It does not matter. It's the first blood picked up by Echo, but the turtle will be slain by Blacklist International. Killed or objective. Benny going to be slain in the gold lane. Blacklist strikes back, making it equal.
2 ults spent by Blacklist up top. Echo takes 2 down in the bottom, but they do get Turtle. I'm talking about Blacklist. What's that worth it, LaFell?
I would say it's not that worth it because in my personal opinion, getting kills is very good because you can establish map pressure because what's the objective of getting the turtle? Sure, you want the gold, sure you want the XP, but you want more control. Now, Edward going up against Sanford taking quite a bit of damage and Sanford's going to get chased.
Circling Eagle onto Sanford here. Haji does not have the air strike out. Surprising attacks coming in. Sanji not going to be here to help him in time. Sanford falls in the XP lane.
Festival of Blood lifesteal is just not enough at this level. 3 minutes in, and I'm not sure if there's enough. Yeah, no, none at all into the emblems.
Many though, look at that. That's going to be the damage coming in. The Illuminati Blast charged in, but knowing that OHEM has the Purify, they decide not to commit just yet.
Yeah, looking at all of the emblems as well as the way that they're setting up, Sanford, his personal goal in this game is to get at least 3 kills. Once he has that 3 kills, he will maximize his emblem. Oh my Venus getting poked out just a little bit, but now looking at the map, if Echo could give those 3 kills over to Sanford, we can see Echo being a little bit more explosive.
You can expect that Sanford's going to look for it. He's going to pressure Edward hard here. Sent him home just now because they want to time the way that this turtle goes. Again, we're 20 seconds away. Benecutie pressuring OHEB as well. Oh my Venus and Yawi playing footsies, making sure that their gold laner gets the advantage.
The zoning coming in again, right? This is what we kind of expect in the gold lane matchup. Harith, once you get to level 4, isn't really going to be able to threaten the Lunox. And even in the XP lane, we saw that Edward was winning early on, but now that Sanford has gone that level 4, has gone a few items down, it's a bit tough for Benedetta.
Turtle already spawned. Carlteasy spots out Haji. Sanford, oh yeah, there's the RWM.
Not going to be able to find anything else though. The stun does connect with the Feather Airstrike connecting onto Sanford. The Perpetual Fly locks him down. Edward finds the pick on. Blacklist International now with a man advantage. Rotating around the turtle. Circling Eagle onto Yaoi's going to be able to find his stun. Carlteasy jumping in. Black charged in with the Flicker as well. OHEB with no Purify here. Doesn't use it just yet. Why still winning the Retribution battles and pop? This is on force. Now Yaoi going to be able to dodge away for now. That's a lot of burst damage as Yaoi will be slain by Edward. Echo losing out in this trade.
Blacklist has amazing battlefield awareness. They knew exactly where every member of Echo was. They almost threatened orange steal from Carlteasy, but they're not done.
A stun and a knock-up. It's still Matilda Airlines here for Blacklist International.
Blacklist is showing what they want to do with this draft. You want to establish control. You want to make sure that the Riverside, you're winning. And the specialty of having a Matilda is when someone overextends, they're not really overextending. In the previous fight, in the Turtle, they were very focused. What do we want to do? Turtle first, but now they want to kill.
And they get it, right? It's onto Venus, the roamer.
Anything that Echo can get here in the first 5 minutes, they will. In the first 2, they were willing to trade and get some advantages, but now wait, a stun onto OHEB, force out the Summon Force.
Pops the Purify as well. The real world inflation almost catches OHEB, but he is able to get out of that one. Haji rotating towards the gold lane with a Feather Airstrike to clear it out, protecting his tier 1 up top.
This is difficult because we said for Echo, for them to win, they have to win the lanes. Here in the early game, not exactly the story because Blacklist now ahead, maybe 1.5K. LaFell, what's going on?
I would say it's not enough because Blacklist, they understand this as well. So as long as they delay, as long as they wait for OHEB to get 2 items, then it's basically they're already doing at least half of their win condition. So it's not about Echo not doing it. It's more about Blacklist saying this time and time again, we understand how your draft works, so we're just going to play around it. So even though, okay, so here's the thing. Echo, they needed to win by 2K, by 2,000 gold. That's LaFell's threshold. So if Blacklist having 1.5K lead ahead, they're really at the driver's seat.
Well, right now, it does seem that way, but Echo are going to be able to force it out. OHEB going to be caught low, but Venus comes in to save OHEB again. Haji with the rotation, circling Eagle to lock Yaoi down. Good selection right now. So the airstrike will come through. Yaoi going to be able to get the stun down onto Venus before he gets taken low. Now, guess who's here? It's Sanji with the real world inflation. Jumping in, but there you go. It's going to be the guy where Haji going to be slain though by Benny, who uses the chaos to take him down. Sanji still poking Venus down. Echo are looking to get the siege down onto the tier 1. Meanwhile, on the turtle side, Carlteasy is going to be taken low with Sanford. It's 2v2. That's the bravest fighter popped into the back line right now. Is Carlteasy going to be able to find it, and Wise is going to fall. Edward finding the stun onto 2 with the eye for an eye to dodge away from the CC. But still, Echo, they win out on that trade.
Not just that trade, but on 2 fronts. They pushed up top, got a kill down bottom, and took the last turtle of the game.
We got a lot here because again, 500 goals, that's great, but Sanford having 1 kill. He has 1 stack on his emblem, and now looking at this, Carlteasy is in too deep.
He's looking for a steal here. He does get the orange buff, not punished enough by Blacklist International. OHEB and Haji falling in the gold lane once again. We spoke about this. Winning lanes is how Echo can get it done, and Benny, 3 kills on him right now.
Finest example of cast circers. You start talking about it, you start questioning it, and it comes up almost immediately. Yowie with the Numinal Blast.
Deathness welcome to cancel it out. That's the anti-CC coming in. As Sanji does the damage onto the tier 1. Bravest Spider by Sanford just to get out. Gets that anti-CC down, unstoppable. Meanwhile, Blacklist International trying to make their way up to the gold lane. Gonna be poked down by Benny as Carl TZ sieging down. That tier 2 in the gold lane. Carl TZ gonna be careful here. Takes the turret down. Gets out with relative ease.
What a swing for the House of Highlights. Unbelievable. I can't believe that maybe 4 or 5 minutes ago we were talking about how Blacklist was ahead, possibly way past the LaFell threshold, but now it's Echo who's pushing it 2.5k ahead.
Well, they have gone way and above the threshold, and the way that they did it is because they understand, okay, we're just gonna stay in lane. There's no use trying to out-rotate Blacklist at this point, so we're just gonna say, because Oheb is gonna be the one that's gonna deal a lot of the DPS damage later on, so shut him down first. Right now, there might be a skirmish in mid.
So the airstrike was used up just to clear up the waves. Echo, with his composition so far, can constantly be threatening these sieges, and also, they can also be looking for a lot of plays on the map. A lot of kill pressure here in their lanes.
Yep, and that's why they're ranked first in average kills so far, 16 plus, because the way that they attack the game, the way that they approach it with their strategy is they want to convert from kills. They don't want to take objectives only. You want to win first and then go from there, which is, I think, what they're doing here. They're baiting the Lord. This is a Lord dance if I've ever seen one.
Oh, Sanji's taking low. Edward jumps in, but Sanji flickers out for the final blow. The Petrify still available by Edward right now to use it eye for an eye, but Sanford notices that. Jumps in with the Bravest Spider. A lot of resources spent already. Is Wise looks for a better position. Haji going to be able to actually dash in with the wing by wings. That's for the Luminant Blast connecting onto Edward. Edward going to be taken low, taken down by Sanford. And that's going to be a 50-50 play around the Lord. Wise here versus Carl TZ, and Carl takes it down. It's about Sanji down. Benny with the dash takes the kill onto Haji.
Was that Benny QT DD? No, didn't even need the flicker.
Dude, that was Benny QT. And again, looking at the items here, because we gotta see whether they are strong now or not. Looking at Benny Cutie, having 3 core items, Cloud Destiny, Lightning Treasure, as well as Divine Glaive. Right now, oh my Venus getting engaged by Yowie.
Luminant Blast again, locking the Queen down. Venus gonna be chased down under the tier 2. Wise here providing the support. Carl TZ looking for an angle, but will back off for now. Tier 1 falling in the mid lane. Echo pushing the pace and the tempo.
Thou shalt not take my queen, says Wise. Echo pressuring mid lane tier 2, even tier 2 down bottom. That's Sanford going solo, Lord up top. Echo is 5k ahead here, 11 minutes in.
It's still not over because Blacklist International, they can still come back because they have a very beefy front line, as well as a lot of damage coming in from Haji and Oheb. Oheb just finished the Holy Crystal, looking at the damage from Haji. Haji can't connect it just yet. Carl TZ is spotting people out. The Lord is here. Will Echo engage?
They will. Luminant Blast charged up already, just to zone the other members away. So Oheb jumps in with his on force. Wise in the front lines, providing the support. Real world manipulation faded in. Sanji not dealing enough damage for now. Blacklist just backing off. Echo doing the same thing, noticing they have the lead. It's disciplined plays from Echo.
Relatively safe defense and siege from Echo. They did their best to get the most out of that Elemental Lord, but we have a Luminous one possibly coming up in a minute and a half, forcing out a feathered airstrike. Echo is relentless. They're not leaving.
Yeah, look at the way Blacklist, they're defending themselves because they're not necessarily sacrificing their own HP just to defend their base. Like, they're defending everything without taking too much. So now Blacklist, they're preparing themselves. In case Echo wants to engage, they can fight back. The problem is, Echo, they're not engaging. They know that they have a lead and they're not going to lose the lead. Looking at the items as well, oh, before that, looks like everyone is just putting everything out. Looking at Haji, he already has 2 main items. He's waiting for his own Holy Crystal. Once he has the Holy Crystal, the kill pressure is going to be a lot onto Echo. So right now, Blacklist, it looks like that's what they're waiting on.
This defensive rubber band, and it's not impossible that Blacklist, but with Echo at 6k, playing this defensively, playing this disciplined, waiting for it coming up in 5 seconds, it looks like Echo also knows how to do that.
It's gonna be really tough now with a 7,000 gold lead technically built up by Echo. But with Blacklist minimalizing their losses, it seems like despite that 7,000 gold deficit, they're still able to contest, they're still able to open up the map without grouping up as 5.
Yeah, looking at the map as well, Blacklist, they're not really moving away each other, they should understand that this Lord is going over to Echo for free. Having that Lunox makes it very difficult for you to contest.
And that's the power spike we're looking at. Echo, this is the inevitable. They have set themselves up for success here. And for Blacklist, the answer is to send Agent Zero, send Edward into the long lane and try to push that, because not a single tier 1 has fallen for Echo.
They didn't even have to use the Retribution, by the way. So Carl Tizzy was able to steal the purple buff away. So right now, again, Echo are just building up the wave, slowly but surely, to finally take some base turrets down.
This is what kind of feels bad as a Baras. You kind of don't care too much about your buffs getting taken away, but what you do care about is it's hard for you to maintain those stacks, because Baras is at his strongest at like, what, 15 stacks? Because looking at Wise now, that is a pretty small Wise.
That's a small dinosaur there, and you're right. While Echo's taking away even the small camp, the small creeps in Blacklist jungle, and then freezing the waves, waiting for it to sink with this Lord, then this is the best that Blacklist can do. Oh, there's a couple of ults spent in. Oh, very low.
Edward to be caught in the Luminon Blast as Betty jumps in with the damage, and that's the combo, the notorious one. As Echo now looking for the siege into the base turret in the mid lane. Lord still marching in the top lane. Concealed play gonna be popped in. Echo looking for more. That's about the airstrike popped in, but look at Stanford, he flickers under. Haji, but he's gonna be able to get out for a bit. Haji gonna fall. The circling eagle does not save the queen. Oheb, the last man standing, but Echo will secure game number 1.
Ang limang Echo fans making noise all around as their team takes game 1. It's a long journey, folks. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So game 1 is great for momentum, but they still gotta watch their backs. Blacklist will pick up so quick from this victory.
Looking at this game, the reason why Echo could beat out Blacklist International is not that Blacklist necessarily made a mistake, it's that Echo did not make a mistake. Because with the draft, having the Matilda, they're trying to bait out Echo to over-engage, overextend, use all of their skills early to get any kind of objectives and then fight back. But Echo, they did not do that. They won the lane. They made sure that Oheb was heavily pressured, and then after that, it's like, okay, just don't overcommit. Just take things slow, and then end the game, get profit.
Orcas are killer whales, right?
Correct.
And that's exactly why they got so much by ganking towards the Lunox. Early on, they weren't going to be find those skills, right? But as the Lunox progresses, with the levels starting to gain up, and with those items starting to stack up, that's when the Lunox gets the power spike in the mid game, and they utilize that perfectly.
Not just the laning phase, actually even in team fights, Oheb's Harith was in such trouble. Again, we saw there the winning moment from the eyes of Sanford. His Lapu-Lapu here, despite having a difficult 5 to 6 minutes, picked up. Again, I think he was just waiting for LaFell's timing and saying, you know what, I need a couple of kills, I need the blood, the Festival of Blood to have triggers, and the Bloodlust apps.
Exactly.
And then even Oheb is in trouble. So with that being said, I think we're gonna need the help of our analysts to break this down. There's a lot that happened here, starting with the draft, a lot as well that went into the mid-game spike for Echo, and even Blacklist struggled to find the rubber band. That's what's scary about this squad, the Orcas. Again, you're right, they're killer whales. When they smell blood, they go for it, and they have perfected the execution. When it comes to lore dances, fellas, right? It's so hard to deny that Echo knows exactly what's happening. So with that being said, we're just waiting for our analysts to call in, because I'm pretty sure they'll have a field day with this. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to remind you that Battle Night is about to happen. That's happening on January 21st. We've got a lot going on, so make sure you log into the game. There's a lot of in-game bonuses that y'all can have, all right? Extra BP, star protection points, free hero access, epic skins that come out that very night, so make sure y'all log in, all right? That's happening on January 21st. Let's all celebrate the M4 World Championships. Whoever takes it home, whether it be Echo or Blacks International, let's all celebrate and tell all of your friends. Now, folks, I think we've said enough here on the desk. It's LaFell, Mirko, and Leo throwing it over to the analysts, because they're going to talk about the draft, show us who the MVP is, because I still think it's not so clear cut. Real quick, who do you think it is?
Oh man, it's a really tough one here. You were gonna say Benny, I'll say Sanford. Both of the side lanes.
Okay. Now I'm
Sanji.
confused.
Let's swap. Sanji, there you go.
You said because between Benny and Sanford, that's exactly the perfect setup or payoff. Who's who, right?
I mean, like, okay, let's just slowly talk about it because Betty Cutie, he stopped the win condition for Blacklist. I mean, to be fair, Blacklist, they gotta win the river, they gotta win the jungle, but it could not happen even if, say, this game extends a little bit longer, right? Betty Cutie will scale up. Wise will not be able to sustain the damage coming in from the Lunas because again, there's no Estes, there's no healing. He can run away, but when he comes back, it's not gonna be much. So for me, it's Betty Cutie.
Okay, Ding Ding, Sanford, or Sanji?
You know what? I'm gonna make a little bit of change here. I think I'm gonna give it to Carl TZ, actually. The hidden carry.
Okay, best in the world. Let's see who it actually is because it's time for the analysts to break it down. Hey, fellas, talk to us.
Great MVP predictions so far. Thank you so much, Leo, LaFell, and as well as Mirko. Here at the Analyst Time, we're going to break it down to you to uncover the mysteries of what this code is so far and what Echo is doing correct. My name is Gideon Q. This is going to be Most Wanted in Southeast Asia. Wolf, as well as Assassin Dave. You are going to be the mediator here, and it's important that you give a non-biased opinion. I repeat, a non-biased opinion. But with that being said, let's break down straight from the draft. I mean, so far, really strong start coming in from Echo.
Now, I gotta say, I really like the Lolita cut from Yaoi because every time you give this player anything that can initiate, that can set up a good team fight, this player will pop off. And you saw it in the last game, right? The entire set of Echo, they had a momentum. They understand which objective do they want, which tower do they want to pressure. You saw Yaoi would set up camps on the top tier 1 tower, and they find a lot of early game pressure to make game pressure.
Oh, there's already that code that Blacklist International has done, right? We know the pattern of what they're doing. Actually, if you're looking at that game, it's a pretty standard Blacklist game. What Echo did differently this time is they snatched this hero, Lolita. That's why I really agreed with Assassin Dave when he said that Lolita was a great pick because not only does it present to us how good Yaoi was, but also how good that drafting plan was for the side of Echo. They countered everything that Blacklist wanted to do with their picks.
Well, if we're talking about the draft, I mean, those are the bans, but the picks overall, I think to the naked eye, most people would understand that, honestly, they're kind of the same thing. They have the exact same goals, but very slightly different tools.
Yeah, and I want to mention that in this game, it's one of the first games in the entire series that we do not have any marksman at all. Right? Like there's a Lunox versus Ohab on the Harith, on the go lane, which is quite interesting because Benny's Lunox actually counter Harith in the late game. You can one-shot with the combo that Lunox has in the kit, and you can look at items. Benny is fully decked out on damage items, no defense whatsoever.
Yeah, he didn't need to because of the fact that he has a lot of peeling, right? You have Yakai to front. You have Lolita to kind of save you in those dire situations, and the Lapu-Lapu as well. Blacklist International, like we said, this is the normal code, a standard place like of Blacklist International, but the order of picks allowed for Echo to actually kind of win over those matchups. Lapu-Lapu kind of wins versus Benedetta in many regards. Akai can win versus the Akai if you think about it, or it's kind of 50-50 if you think about it, but of course Yaoi, not only did he prevent like the combo of Blacklist International, he also protected their own Lunox. That's why I really like how Echo designed game number 1.
Yeah, and I like it too. Personally, when it comes down to the little details, the little tools that they have, I mean, the fact is, it's really hard to break her out of the real-world manipulation unless you have a suppress. And again, Oh My Venus can't really do much about it. The same goes for Edward, but you can't say the same thing for Echo because you have Lapu-Lapu jumping in on the far side, which already is one difference maker. Let's not forget about the invulnerability coming out of Benny QT.
Absolutely, and one thing that I want to mention for Echo in the game 1 was momentum, right? It felt like in the beginning of the game, Blacklist really captured the momentum of the game, but somehow towards the mid to late game is when Echo really start pushing, right? They push a top tier 1 tower, they find the objective-based play, and they give them so much clarity on exactly what they need to do. With a player like Yaoi on the setup, that was just clear gameplay.
Yeah, it wasn't easy though. For 7 minutes, they kept on trying to break the momentum of Blacklist International. Blacklist leading a little bit. Echo was trying to take out Oheb up top. Eventually, after 7 to 8 minutes, Sanji was able to land the killing blow onto Oheb. It did It did require them to have a lot of tries, but they were successful in the end. And 2-0 Nate, we saw this, Gideon. We reacted to this. His flicker to the left side during the Lord fight now was crazy. It was criminal.
That was criminal gaming for sure.
He is just stealing hearts and stealing minds at this point. The conditioning is starting to build up, but this is only game number 1. So people at the caster's desk, this is your MVP going over to Sanji. I'll let that sit in for a little bit longer, but I think, we really have to make sure that the draft doesn't escalate this, especially if you are in Blacklist's position. Are there adaptations that we're expected to see?
Yeah, and Sanji, well-deserved MVP here. I want to mention one of the lore fight you talk about, he flickered to the left side. That was beautiful, and also he was lingering with 1 HP, right?
Yeah.
Very little HP, and he still has so much impact. Just to show you how much impact he had in the early game, this is from the beginning of the game to 5 minutes. You can take a look at Sanji's heat map, right? This guy in the mid lane was dominant in the lane and start voting towards EXP because Turtle was towards the bottom side in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and then eventually you will go to the gold lane where they want to really kill Oheb back out up top. They know that the way for them to win the mid-game team fights is to deny Oheb to the farm. But then again, you can see a Blacklist International how many times they have saved Oheb. Now Oheb also played it well, but eventually they will have to fall to the tempo of.
In the beginning, Blacklist had a momentum because they understand that win condition as well.
Right.
That's why you saw Farsa go towards the top side to help Oheb so much. I think we're gonna capture some highlights here. Whoa, this is one of the engagements. Even though the Turtle went through Blacklist, but Echo got 2 kills out of it.
I think even more so, you could see just the small little plays coming out from everybody here. They're trying their absolute best to make sure that they minimize the profit coming in from either side. But once the momentum started to fall into Echo's favor, I think this is where things started to change, especially for the gold lane.
That's right. We have to talk about Krautings here, right? Although we aren't seeing a lot, the way he secured all of these turtles, then eventually the First Lord, then constantly just applying the pressure against Blacklist International while keeping himself safe and really just reaching around the Lord area. I think that's also amazing coming out from Krautisi himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Here from the highlights, you see how clear Echo rotation were, right? They know exactly where they're going. They know exactly the tower they're trying to get. And sure enough, it paid them many dividends. Yeah. And I think going to game 2, Blacklist need to think about their momentum as well. Yeah. Once they had a game plan, you stick to the game plan instead of being disrupted by Echo.
I see.
Yeah, we are not allowed to predict with the draft because we're not going to be drafted, right? But I kind of want to predict. I think Lolita is going to be a prime commodity next game.
All right, Lolita could be the commodity here. Casters, are you ready? Because game 2 is about to begin. Take it away.
The bespectacled boys of the analyst stand are getting heated. Who wouldn't, right? With a matchup like this, Blacklist International versus Echo, with the Orcas drawing first blood. There's a huge case for everyone to be MVP, but yes, we had to take our hats off for Sanji there. Real quick, let me remind everybody about the M4 Battle Night goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards up for grabs in-game. First off, complete battle tasks in the game on January 21st to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like the most from the chest. Aside from that, battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP and double BP for 5 matches. We are not stopping there. 5 matches. Again, you gotta play them. Free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day. Save the date, log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the matches you play, and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 championships together, including your friends. I'm on desk here with Mirko and LaFell, and again, it was mentioned earlier and they showed us everyone can carry from Echo.
And that's why we had such a hard time predicting the MVP for game number 1, right? Because, sure, you said it was Benny. Benny did maybe close to the most damage onto the Barats, especially just melting him down. Sanji with very good zone, very good damage too. In the end, I said Carl Tizzy, right? Because the way they played in that team fight was every single member from the side of Echo had their own agenda, had their own tasks, right? They were going to dish out damage. Some of them are going to put Blacklist in a disarray where the front to back that Blacklist have drafted for themselves would not work. Meanwhile, Blacklist, they played for this one vision, one mission, and that's what gave Echo the upper hand.
So now we gotta look at the hero pick recap, and yeah, Sanji did a lot of damage, 59,000 damage. That is a lot. But yes, like you said, the way that they're moving around with this draft, I would say this is quite a difficult draft for you to play discipline at, because there's a lot of ways for you to start the fight. So you are tempted to actually start the fight. But the way that they're doing it is they completely understand we don't have to. As long as Blacklist are not here, are not present to protect their turrets, to protect their jungle, then we're just gonna focus on getting the objectives. Like we see Echo, they can play explosively. But it looks like for this game, they have very much matured. And I like that I said before, they learn fast, and they learn very fast in this game. They're only what is necessary.
Yep, in hindsight, given what Echo has employed, it's a clear box strategy. Again, you see it on the map. It's the Eve, and then you have the Akai who either pulls someone in or pushes them out. For Blacklist, I think they were put into a position, forced a position wherein they had to break that box. If they couldn't, then they were on the back foot, and that's why Game 1 went to Echo.
And I love the fact that in the early game, right, Echo, the way they played it was they're completely fine with actually throwing bodies at Blacklist International. Sure, here, have a frontliner, have another, because it's always just Yaoi and Carl TZ who actually gets taken down, right? With that, they give so much space to the other carries, the Sanji, the Sanford, and even Benny to pop off.
And folks, with that being said, it's so important again to pay attention to the draft. You can't go into war without the right tools, the right equipment to win you those battles. Going into game 2 here, it's about time we get into the draft. Lafel, what changes do you expect?
I'm expecting a change in the way that they're drafting for OHEB, because even in their keys to victories, you gotta look at OHEB to really carry the game, and for him to have an easier time, he needs to make sure he wins the lane. Sometimes that does mean you're gonna delay your hero a little bit, potentially getting banned out in the later stage of the game, but at least you have the information to know what's going on. And in fact, looking at the draft right now, we talked about it in the pre-show where Blacklist International, they do the best as a second pick. So far right now, in the first pick, they don't have the necessary information of what Echo wants to do. So, you know, it's one of those things that we don't talk about so much, but as a team, not having their preferred, I would say, side to pick and ban may actually hurt them as well.
And that's exactly what's very interesting here, right? Because Echo, they do better in the first pick position. Now they're actually popping off on the red side of the map, second pick. Meanwhile, for Blacklist, like you mentioned, they do enjoy being the second pick a bit more. We saw from the statistics earlier on, 72% win rate. But here, you can see the adjustment also made by Echo. In game number 1, they banned out the Estes in the second phase of the draft. Now, they're prioritizing it here, but they're leaving out a hero. Open. Blacklist did this. They banned it. Frederick.
And now, this just shows the priorities that Blacklist have. Being here in blue side, having that one pick is so powerful because you get to build the lineup around it. And the answer by Echo is a Farsa and a glue. The glue, more of a hero that we don't ever see. And given that the Fredrin was the focus from Blacklist, now Echo have again solid choices for drawing that box.
My question is, because they're picking up the glue, are they like trying to bait Blacklist International picking up the Faramis, because the Faramis is one of the counters for glue, but it looks like they're not gonna bite. They're just gonna take the Valentina, and this shuts down a lot of playmaking ultimates, just like the Brock with his wild charge. But before we go even further, this is a quote by TikTok. Their chemistry is really solid since they have been together for a long time. It's so hard to cut them down. This is the hardest part in fighting Blacklist International.
And I completely agree, Coach Dick. They have been together even before they won the World Championship. And now a year has passed and they're still here. They're still making a claim for that trophy that we're all looking at, the center of the stage. Going into the second phase, Echo bans out XP lane choices because again, Sanford's happy with the glue. They go ahead and ban out the Lapu Lapu. I just gotta say, there's an odd absence of joy.
Yeah, the joy here not really going to be prioritized by any of the teams in the first phase. Heck, we might even, we might even actually see it ignored completely in the draft for game number 2. Joy is a bit of a gimmick hero. That's what I call her, right? Because it's all about just distracting the enemy team. Anyways, though, I do want to talk a little bit about this XP lane or just Blacklist International's draft, because in a lot of their drafts here, we usually see that Fredrin is used as a flex pick. Not for Blacklist, though. Every every single time the Fredrin is picked up by Blacklist, well, not every single time, but 90% of the time, it's jungle. They always want a playmaker on Edward. That's the reason you're still seeing that Lapu ban here, the respect being given out, and also the Claude ban. They want to get rid of a hero that can blink out of the Detonus Welcome, can blink out of the real pure engage from the glue, even from the poke that's coming in from the Farsha.
But I still like the way that Blacklist is drafting, because we've discussed that the way that you're going to win is through OHEB as well as Edward. So now that they've seen at least 80% of the draft coming in from Echo, now they should have enough information to really understand what kind of heroes they should get, because if OHEB and Edward loses lane, they're going to lose priority in the jungle or the riverside, and that's really going to impact how Blacklist plays. So this last two picks will really impact, because at least now they see the Brody. What do you want to use against the Brody?
They still need to put yes, but they also still need to put a hero on Agent Zero, and that might be the key. Benedetta's still open here, but it looks like Echo has an answer. Oh, nope, there you go. We mentioned the Joy.
And they left it open. It's the Franco from Yaoi too. I love it, right? Again, we mentioned about the Joy. More of a distraction than a prio pick, right?
Yes.
But it is a good pick here. Noticing that Blacklist International, they're going to have that backline really targeted down by Echo. So what the Joy is going to do here is to create space by being that annoying hero in the enemy backline. The thing is though, Echo waited for this. They knew it was coming, right? It was either they went for a Kufra pick, a Joe pick, or they see the Joy, instantly they go for the Franco, they can lock the Joy down.
Yeah, but given that Show is banned out, Echo had the ball in their court. It was their shot to make. You mentioned the Kufra. Yaoi had a lot of
crazy games on the Kufra.
Chance to play that, but instead they go for the Franco. You know, a game lost be damned, but we don't care about it going into the Valentina. We don't care if Haji gets it. And looking at it, is it going to the hands of Valentina? Yes, of course, yes, Haji, because again, there's the Fredrin. That's definitely Wise's hero.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we're going into game number 2. Blacklist International going up against Echo. And what I wanted to say was that Echo picked up the most banned hero of Blacklist International. They keep banning out this Franco. So now Franco in the hands of Echo, this might be a bad game for Blacklist.
Yep, and the reason why is because it breaks the Ubin. You don't get to engage on your terms. And in the hands of the playmaker, Yaoi, it's going to be a great way to, again, either set up a box that Blacklist is not comfortable with, or a break whatever Blacklist is trying to do.
And this is a similar approach to, again, what RRQ did against Echo yesterday, right? They picked up that Franco, but unfortunately for RRQ, they didn't have anything to build around the Franco. Meanwhile here, I was questioning the Brody pick earlier on. I was like, what? Brody into Lolita? Then you see the Franco and you're like, there you go. That's what it was for. You hook the opponent away, and what's the Lolita gonna do, right? Sure, she can actually jump in, flicker, maybe to get that shielding down, but it's a bit too risky, and if Venus is on the receiving end of the hook, it's gonna be a lot to deal with here. And Venus right now is going to be caught. Yaoi going to throw the iron hook. Good dodge by Venus.
Now, looking at this game, Blacklist International, I would say after the group stages, this Franco is a nightmare for them, because it is the reason why they've lost. So now we got to see their evolved form. Have they been able to find a way to fight against this Franco? Right now, looking at the lanes, not a lot is going on. Wise goes down to fight against Sanford, but I don't think they can secure a kill here.
Too sustainable, gets out of that one. Wise is level 4, Kaltizi as well. Both of these junglers clearing very, very fast. In the end, it's Hachi who actually steals the gold buff away.
Yep, looking at a potential 3v3, 4v4 down bottom as they both jockey for position, finding a good pull for this Lord. It looks like Echo is the one first on the scene. Kaltizi whacking away. Oh, there's a ult!
Yeah, Sanford zoning very, very well here with the split as well. Bringing Wise away. Newman Blast gonna be charged in. On to Kaltizi, but no! It's Yaoi who finds the iron hook, and Kaltizi finds retribution. Edward, and that's a stolen for the airstrike as the Bloody Hunt comes down onto Edward to lock him down. Sanford finding Wise, the flicker over. Edward picking up another. It's a 2-for-1 right now. Echo still equal though in terms of the trade, because they secured the turtle.
I like how Blacklist played that fight just now, because even though they were focusing on the turtle, they kind of understood that it's not 100%. It's not even 50-50. It was kind of a 60-40 at that point. So they tried to find the alternate win condition around the turtle, which just try to get a little bit more kills. So they were willing to expand a lot of their resources there. Looking at the items right now, really not a lot of power spikes just yet. The Beatrix here, piloted by Oheb, understands that there is a chance he's going to get attacked, and right now, Carl Teasy is going to get attacked.
He is the frontliner though, so he's happy taking that damage in. Haji is going to be the one losing a whole lot of HP from Sanji. Venus does too, and now that mid control is for Echo.
And you're seeing here the difference between Haji and Sanji, a Valentina and a Farsa. It seems like now, when the ult is ready on Sanji, he's just willing to pull it out and then force Haji to respond. It's all about timing. It's all about engagement. And Yaoi, did he do it? No, the Filipino sniper still confirms the gold crab.
That was an insane calculation, man. An insane micro play by Oheb, right? He knows exactly how it was going to go down. Even with the snipes there.
I gotta say, in my head, he was holding his breath like, 1, 2, just get it. And I just want to touch a little bit about the emblems, because in terms of scaling, I kind of feel like Blacklist, they have an advantage because Oheb is using a marksman emblem compared to Benecutie using the assassin emblem. He's going to have a lot of damage, but still, in terms of scaling, Blacklist, they have it in the bag, and now looks like the Echo, they're just gonna push Blacklist away. Don't push too hard.
Oh, not an engagement that Echo wants to go for, because again, they spent a few ults there. Mind you, Yaoi still has the Bloody Hunt, still has a hook waiting on him. Benecutie as well, torn apart memory, goes for a full Numinum Blast charge up by the Queen. That is welcomed by Carl Teasy.
And Carl Teasy is going to be able to spin him out. That's a Bloody Hunt locking Edward down. Edward taking low, but still able to survive for now. Torn apart memory can be popped in as Benny flickers forward to pick up the kill. Turtle over to Blacklist right now as Sanford jumps in with Swiss Split, bringing Venus back for the damage to come through once again. Sanji picking up. Yaoi almost finding the iron hook. That's immobilized. Haji forced the flicker out, and Echo will be able to find. He can.
CC, that was lucky that himself out, as well as Haji. Speaking of which, Haji is using a skill kind of itemization, so he's not going to be too strong right now, but I would say in 8 minutes, he's really gonna power through Echo.
Yeah, and honestly, I do really want to talk about how Blacklist International are negating the bully potential from the Brody, right? Because earlier we saw the lane frozen by Benecutie in that lane. Why instantly stop by into the gold lane, even risking his life just to help Oheb clear it out. And this is what's going to get Blacklist to that item power spike for Oheb in the gold lane. The Beatrix has been farming very well, considering that he is in the losing matchup up against that Brody.
Yep, and we're just waiting for that to flourish. We're just waiting for that to get the payoff. Bottom lane though, you see the XP laner just leaving constantly. Very good wave clear from both the Joy and the Blue Owl, the pull on Wise!
The iron hook, and that's going to be Bloody Hunt. Chained in, but that's as welcome as Edward jumps in with a lot of damage coming down. Sanji with the wings by wings, getting out. Numinum Blast set up by the airstrike, stolen away by Haji with the IMU. Bennett's Rage, able to find the kill on the Sanford. Carl Teasy going to be gunned down. That's the iron hook to provide the peel necessary for Carl Teasy. It's a 1-for-1. The XP lane traded in for the jungler.
Wait, look at Benecutie.
Oh, watch out, Benny from the back line. Oheb hasn't spotted him yet. We're going for the turtle. There's the pull as well. Look at this. Prime positioning from the Echo squad. Oh, he's revealed. There's the hook.
Yeah, we missed it. Gonna be stunned up. Venus actually onto the turtle. Carl Teasy with a quarter of his HP bar. Oh, that's the airstrike prematurely popped in. Sanji's gonna be zoned away now, but Benny, again, this is the man that we're gonna be looking at. Wise gonna be hooked down. That's the moment for Benny to jump in. That's the damage coming through the turtle memory as well. To take the turtle and to take Oheb. Carl Teasy with the Death's welcome. Not gonna be able to find it just yet. Sanford onto Venus, bringing it back. Numinum Blast gonna be popped in, but he's not gonna be able to get charged all the Edward, sunned up, suppressed, Bloody Hunt popped in. Yeah, we gonna fall to the hands of Edward. Edward still wants to keep on going. Sanji rotating back into the mid lane. Why is gonna be brought back? It's a pause here in the 7th minute of the game.
Messy engagement, and the payoff was just about to come up. Benecutie able to hide in that bush, put a few marks on several members of Blacks International, plus on the turtle, which allows Echo to pummel on through forward, but you can't discount the fact that Blacklist played that very well as well.
Yeah, Blacklist played it very well, but again, Benecutie just understanding the situation, not understanding like just his hero, just Blacklist hero, but he's like, okay. Because I kind of feel like a lot of people looking at that situation, Oheb was kind of isolated by his team. It was prime position to just stun him up, get some stacks in, and then just kill him off just like that. But he's like, no, I'm going to wait and say, I'm going to make sure everyone is close enough. He gets into turret range. He can get stacks onto a lot of...
In line between, I guess, a mistake and being loco, right?
That was pretty loco. That was pretty loco.
For it to being a mistake, but the fact that Benny's still alive now, at the cost of Cartesi's life, it allowed for it to be local.
And it comes down to trigger discipline, right? The fact that he was in the bush for so long, even Yaoi is spotted, and he still stuck. He was like,
no one checked the bush.
I'm committing, bro. I'm committing. And he committed, right? Because Yaoi was spawned out already, they were like, no way. There's no way a Brody is waiting in that bush.
Yep.
It turns out, that's how Benny plays, buddy.
No way a marksman will flank, right? I mean, that's like an assassin kind of thing.
Yeah, Benny's an assassin sometimes. You can kind of say he's an assassin because of the way he plays these marksmen. He flickers forward, he looks for flanks, and here, we're going to see the player head to head.
Never let them know your next move. That's what Benny did. Never let them know your next move.
And that's what makes him a force of nature. That's what makes him the storm. He just comes up. And here, leading these two players, the gold laners, are these roamers, all right? Yaoi, the playmaker, and his idol, Mumshu. Oh my Venus. Again, they're two different kinds of roamers, two different kind of team captains, but the way that they lead their teams are just perfect for their playstyle.
We've seen it, right? Again, Yaoi with more flashy heroes, but for Venus, it's time to enable, but here we're gonna be put in right into the team fight. Echo with, actually, it's pretty good trade now that I see it for Blacklist. Not that bad. Yeah. Benny actually fell, but the airstrike though from Sanji into mid lane, making it in favor of Echo.
All right, something transpired in between the time we resumed and paused in, but for now, real quick, folks, Blacklist forcing out a push up top. Buff still secured per side, and we're looking at a possible kill. Edward?
Nope. That's Edward for you. Gets out in relative ease again, right? Echo trying pressure, but now it's just for Blacklist International to punish in the goal in the other side of the map, which is going to be the XP lane. They even tried to deny as much as possible from Benny, forced to use the torn apart memory to get those last hits.
This is the world stage, so I'm allowed to be a little bit more critical looking at the way that the game is transpiring.
We just spoke about this. Yaoi versus Venus, and Yaoi is going to be able to find that iron hook. Connecting onto Y, bringing it back under the tier 1, and that's everyone collapsing. Benny with a torn apart memory back up on that cooldown is going to be able to secure it. Feather Edge right now on to Haji and Oheb. Haji going to be stunned up, has the Feather Edge strike, but both teams disengage.
King and the Queen in a flash goes out. I mean, Edward able to make the most of a bad situation, but LaFell, what does this mean?
First of all, I just want to say I'm so glad I was interrupted because I was about to say Black was actually looking pretty good because Oheb is going to scale up and Yaoi's not hitting the hooks, but never mind. Yaoi got a very crucial hook, and the thing is, this is the time where Benny Cutie, I would say, is almost at his max because he already has his Blade of Despair as well as the Fury Hammer. Enough penetration, enough raw damage. This is the time you force the fights. This is not about waiting. If you see an opportunity, just go for it.
And it looks like Blacklist has already found their window. Haji pulling out Sanford, Cartesi losing the pull battle against Wise. Blacklist have a small favorable position over the Lord. It's closer to the south, closer to Wise. They spot on Venus. Yaoi throws out a hook. And now the Lord dance continues.
It's a very slow Lord dance. It's a macro-centric play here. Mid-control. It's the spot for. That's concealed though. Yeah, we're going to be able to find Haji fighting on as well. That's damage coming through. And a turn apart memory finds its mark. Preventative Rage to follow it through. Yeah, we're going to be taking down Sanford. Jumps in with split. Venus put him on blast. Stunning him up right now. It's called easy to be taunted up. But I straight to the back. It's going to be strong caught. Wise now with the Appraiser's Wrath. Still able to sustain for a bit as Sanford still on that split. Jumps back away. Venus is low. That's going to be Benny dealing out of damage. Now with the turn apart memory. Benny QT with a flicker forward again. Styling on Blacklist International.
That team fight could not have been better for Echo. 4 down, no clap back from Blacklist, and Echo now making a beeline straight for this Elemental Lord.
Okay, now Edward coming in, not going to be able to steal. But yeah, in this game, objectives are important. And On Sanford, he's gonna get chased. Will actually get down. Yaoi stops the progression of Edward. And as I'm saying, objectives are very important, but it doesn't have to be the turrets. It doesn't have to be the Lord kills are objectives as well. And again, Echo, their draft, they have a lot of big potential. So they're really using their draft to the finest. I like the way that they approached it. Don't fight the Lord. Kill them first.
And they did. They found bodies, pushed them all the way behind tier 2 down bottom. And it's putting Oh My Venus, who just hit the ranked first one, average assist 10.4 per game here in M4, into a weird position. When do I use Numinal Blast? When do I protect my teammates? When do I find a proactive spot, a window for us to clap back? And it's looking harder and harder by the minute. Echo pushes mid tier 1, and now they're threatening tier 2 as well. Watch Sanji, he's concealed.
Yeah, he pops in the feather airstrike, zoning Oheb away as Edward jumps in closer. Sanji with wings by wings, getting out. Feather airstrike being popped, Sanji flickers out. Call TZ, finding that after this welcome onto Wise, gonna be stunned up again. No, that flash though out from Venus, out of nowhere. Sanford still in the front line, spinning QC dealing damage right now as Edward's gonna be able to jump into the back line, but the bloody hunt catches Edward, and a 12-part memory silences him, takes him down. Sanji with wings by wings, Oheb gonna be taken low, forced to flicker out by Yaoi, and Sanford flickered forward. Now, Echo still on the march, feather airstrike taking Venus down. Haji is all alone, terrifying Yaoi, still able to survive with the iron. Connects again, and Echo have wiped out Blacklist International. They're looking for the end. No minions on the board. They're forced to back away.
5 for 1 plus 2 major objectives pushed in by the Orcas. This is both discipline and ruthlessness. LaFell, where'd they pull this from?
First of all, I gotta say, there's the reason why Franco is the most banned hero for Blacklist International. I kind of feel like going to the next game, it has to be put into contention. Now, Blacklist, how this really happens is because Echo always finds a way to actually dish out damage onto Oheb, because every single fight, look at where Oheb is positioning. It's not that his positioning is bad, it's just that he has to constantly run away. He has to run away from Benny Cutie. He has to run away from Sanji, from Sanford, from Yaoi. There's so many ways he can get caught, and it's so hard to micromanage all of it, especially when Echo, the way that they attack, sometimes Oheb doesn't see it coming.
It sounds like Blacklist has been overloaded by Burst and also a good amount of CC. And those two things are lethal against a lineup like Blacklist, against the Uber strat. And they just can't pull it off here as Benny Cutie forces a push up top. And that's a clean tier 2 tower. They're going to help open up this luminous Lord for Echo. Now 8K ahead at 13 minutes.
That's insane. And on top of that, Benny's on a hero like the Brody, who snowballs like an absolute monster. And you can see here, this is the play by Blacklist International. They still want to contest. Lord taken to half HP. Carl TZ still on it. This is the Lord dance. As the mid lane pressure will be popped in from Echo. 8,000 gold leaders. The airstrike will be popped in. The zone, other members away. Carl TZ with that is welcome finding it. Haji stealing. The airstrike again. The better straight out of the bell blast. Why steals it away? Yeah, we got the bloody hunt, but it's all for now. Sanford all alone. Yeah, we should be got down.
Stage. He takes game 2 away from Blacklist International.
I just gotta say, man, the way they set up the entire map, they're setting up for a checkmate. And then Benny Cutie is like, I don't care about pawns, I don't even care about queen. I'm going for the king. And that is the crystal there right now. 2-0 Echo over Blacklist International.
What is this man made of? Oh my god, how many times has he found this play?
The storm, the typhoon, the hurricane, Bagyong Benny, born and bred to split lanes and take games.
Wow.
The shot calling, though, that was needed to make that play happen.
I mean, again, it looks like Echo is not just they understand the draft, they just understand Blacklist in general. You guys want to clump up together? Go ahead. Hey, we're going to take the Lord. You're going to contest for it, right? Well, go ahead. We're going to split push. I think this is just critical understanding of what Blacklist is going to do before Blacklist even does it. Because, again, throughout the game, they're still winning the lanes. And look at at how they're rotating around the map. Because okay, I'm not the analyst here. I mean, I'm an analyst on the desk, but not on the stand. But look at how when the Lord was being pushed, Sanford, he could have pushed as well, but he avoided it. He went straight to the Lord, and he didn't care about the Lord. He didn't care about the jungler. No. He just went straight to Oheb. And he doesn't care. I just want to slow down Oheb. And then because of that, everyone was focused. We got to take care of Oheb. Now that they're taking care of Oheb, wait, Benny Cutie.
Yep, it's sensory overload, and it came down to the fact that Blacklist could not respond, and that's how Echo took game number 2. More on that in just a bit. We'd like to remind everyone and give a special shout out to Secret Lab, the official gaming chair partner of M4. We're talking about a built-in lumbar support system that you can adjust to your spine, an incredible magnetic memory foam head pillow, and brand new fabrics in all sorts of colors and designs. The Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022 gaming chair is designed to keep everyone seated in incredible comfort for a long time. I'm talking about a best of 7 that goes all the way. In the MPL Philippines Grand Finals in Season 10, they went to Game 6, and boy oh boy, was I ready for more. And here tonight, I hope everyone is, but it looks like Echo are thinking something else. They're going fast here. They're going way too fast for the world champions to respond. But with that being said, Pierre Lafell, we're going to throw it over to the analysts.
Thanks, Leo. But today we are seeing a team that has perfected a technique. Science plus violence. Get out of the way, Hurricane Katrina, because Benny QT is going after your homes. They're going after your base. Welcome back to the Analyst Stand. My name is Getting Cute. This is going to be Assassin Dave as well as Wolf here to break it down for you one more time. This is an outstanding
situations and the Lapu-Lapu as well.
Those two were popping off in that game. I mean, like, Sanford was literally 1v4ing with the glue. He's the monster, aka glue monster. I mean, like, what can Blacklist do at this point?
You know, they have to stop the momentum of Echo for sure, but it's like the opposite way around. Blacklist want to play their own brand of the game, their own code, right? And we saw that in back-to-back games. They know how to operate, they know these heroes, the ins and outs of the Mlbb strategy that they're trying to employ against Echo, but it's just that Echo is just stopping them in their tracks. I think that the reason why Blacklist are losing back-to-back games is because they kept on playing the same game.
Here's the thing, right? In the background, when we were talking and discussing about this draft, something about Echo that really stands out is the fact that, you know, they're not visually anymore. They're not playing hyper defensively. They have playmaking capabilities.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at the item, right? Benny QT with 10,000 gold, closer to 11,000 gold, A1-1. In fact, everybody's KDA on the carry position, right? 5-1-11 on Sanford, 5-0-8 on Sunji. All these carry positions are absolutely dominating. Now, I'm interested to find out the MVP later on once we get there, because I think even though we got so much farm, so much resource to Benny, it's actually Sanford who set up the play for the teammates.
Okay, now we're going to be jumping over to the post stats here, and I'm really interested to see the overall team fight participation. Edward having 100%, but the control from Echo. Like, imagine Edward being part of every single one of these fights, and yet Echo, not one of them, not even 100%. They are dividing and conquering so well.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about how Sanford was instrumental in this, the playmaking potential, right, from coming up from Kenya. Totally with you guys, because I think that Echo, their shot selection in this game, particularly in the fights, was amazing, was on point. Sanford knows who to jump onto. Even he chooses something by Venus, sometimes it's going to be Wise. It depends on the situation, what the situation calls for, so that Echo will win those turtle fights. Then, when it comes to those crucial moments where there's like a 50-50 or even like the odds are in their favor, they utilize the spacing coming out from Yahweh's Franco, and of course, Galti's Daytona's. Welcome to this place, Blacklist International, for them to not get into their bubble.
Absolutely, right? Sanford on the glue monster was insane. He has pinpoint accuracy. You're absolutely on point on that. He knows exactly which person to carry away, right? In objective, in turtle fights, and also in lore fights. Sometimes he gets to the back line. I remember this one time when Benny Kuti flickered in for the ultimate for torn apart memory, get a double kill, and that was all set up by Sanford. He was literally 1v4ing, taking all the damage, and staying alive.
Personally, for me, I don't know what the communications coming in from Echo is going to sound like, but I can't wait to gaze this hurricane.
And I think that it is now safe for me to say, for all over the world, that he is now the holder of the gold standard, gold lane standard. The way he positions himself is amazing to look at. It's textbook, right? If you wonder how to utilize and position a marksman, do look at Benny Kuti's games because of how he's able to just win the matchups in the laning stage. Eventually, team fights, his timing with the flicker and the ultimate was phenomenal.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out about Benny in this game, he put out the very characteristic and very special Echo style split push, right? The marksman split push in the late game. Just when you think, okay, the Brody has to be in the team fight. I mean, it's a marksman, that's the most damage source, he got the most farm. Win condition, right? For the team.
All right, let's talk a little bit of how Benny Kuti actually plays heat, how he positioned himself with the heat map from 5 to 10 minutes here. He's supposed to be the cleanup crew for the rest of the squad. Walk me through this here.
All right, so he started with the top laner, but at 5 minutes where the turtle is gonna respond, a second turtle of the game, he was there. Look at him. Look at that push, that play. Look back at that play. Afterwards, though, he went to the XP lane. He knows that the golden is already done for. All they need to do is to get